If you met Jesus in the flesh, you would say, hey, Jesus, tell me my future. Wouldn't you want to know that? But do you know that the person who asked Jesus about the future got rebuked?
V1 Church, right now, we're bringing you into this room. And this is how we're gonna start this segment. And I want you to see my face. I want you to see Pastor Josh's face. I want you to see our faces, because I believe that this is the initiation of the weeping prophets. Those that will cry, those that will weep, those that their tears will be their declarations and their prayers. Something we were supposed to start recording. Something began to happen in the time where we were praying that completely overwhelmed this space. We are here as a prophetic presbytery to make declarations. We are going to speak into 2024.
And he said, hey, tomorrow's evil. Let it worry for itself.
They're going to be convicted to tell the truth. I'm going to step out and take a huge risk. I believe one of them may even get a diagnosis of a terminal illness that will become the impetus for the truth telling. We'll say, what does that even matter? I don't. And so mark that. But I believe the Lord is beginning to do things and administrate, and not all these people will be believers, by the way. Not all of them will be Christians. That's why I believe the phrase is truth teller. It's not the same as Christian.
See, here's the problem. There's a fantasy for the future that you have. You're obsessing over the future because you don't like your present.
When you hear the taunts of Goliath, you will see a David emerge. When there is a global famine, there will be a Joseph that had been going through a process and God was getting ready to debut him.
If you met Jesus in the flesh, you would say, hey, Jesus, tell me my future.
I received a prophetic word that I believe is for many people right now. I saw that companions to your destiny are joining you now.
Wouldn't you want to know that? But do you know that the person who asked Jesus about the future got rebuked?
I heard the Lord say that there's a window of time and that there's an opportunity to step in. And there's been fear and worry and anxiety that has been actually sent by the enemy as an attack against you to stop you from operating in faith this time. And I heard the Lord saying that he's given you desires, he's given you dreams, he's given you visions, but you have not yet stepped into them, and you've been hesitating. And you've been saying, God, who am I? God, why would you use me? God, why would you do this thing through my life? And I hear the Lord saying, please step in. Time is running out. There's a window of opportunity, and he does not want you to miss your opportunity.
And he said, hey, tomorrow's evil. Let it worry for itself.
Question for you, and don't click off until you hear these questions, because this is a divine confirmation. Have you been feeling unusually tired, lethargic, passive, not feeling like yourself? But then on the flip side, you can't go to bed. You feel like an insomniac. You feel like despite how tired you are, for some reason you just get in the bed and you just want to stay up all night, but there's really no rest physically or mentally. These are some indicators of some things that are happening spiritually. Let me tell you, before you click off, just please listen, because I've traveled all across the United States speaking to thousands of people, and I get up in front of these audiences and I ask them, just raise your hand if you've been unusually tired or lethargic and you have no explanation for it, despite your diet, despite working out. And 95% of the audience raises their hand from coast to coast in the United States. There is something that's happening, and I need to talk to you about why, okay? Because it goes deep. There are forces at play, and I'm sounding the alarm and I'm exposing them, that are trying to rob masses of people from their divine purpose. This is a clandestine, secret plan, and I'm going to uncover it. Matter of fact, I don't even know how long this video will stay up, so you want to watch it throughout its entirety, because this is literally your destiny on the line.
See, here's the problem. There's a fantasy for the future that you have. You're obsessing over the future because you don't like your present.
There's many of you watching right now, and the Lord's been showing me that there's a season that's coming to an end, a new season that's beginning, and you're going to step in. But for some of you, you spent so much time like waiting for this day to come that you're not even sure it's real. And as God opens up doors, as he gives opportunities, he wants you to be confident. He wants you to be reminded of what you've gone through, reminded of where you've been. And he's even going to begin to show you who he's been for you in previous seasons of your life. And as he begins to take you into this next phase, you might even feel awkward.
If you met Jesus in the flesh, you would say, hey, Jesus, tell me my future.
There are some who started, but they chose to quit. There are others yet who were destined never to finish, and they died before their time. But the Lord says, you have made it to this moment, and you are standing on holy ground now, and you are standing in the very territory. I'm speaking spiritually that God has destined you for you to stand on. And I hear the Lord saying, think not of yourself, that which you have assigned by identity, but rather stand boldly in that which I called you and told you you are and what you will do. And I, the Lord your God, will remind you of even words that I spoke long ago, and they will ring in your ears louder than anxiety and fear, and they will ring in your ears louder than discouragement and abandonment. And though you have been under woundedness, and though you have been under an affliction from those who have so desperately tried to eliminate you.
Wouldn't you want to know that? But do you know that the person who asked Jesus about the future got rebuked?